Well, right now we have 2 new casters on the stream. They are locked, loaded, and ready to go. So let's get the casting flowing. notShurit versus Viper. Top 8 cuts, game 1. And I am excited to see what these 2 casters are bringing today. So we have an spin to draw of a Leviathan, setting 1. Hopefully that's PTA, so he keeps Elestral advantage here. But just a simple spin to draw. We'll see how things go forward. Viper casting out a Vipyro to a Fire Puppy. Okay, Viper, I see. With a full slate of back row. If this is a Fire Nexus deck, Shurit should be terrified.
I mean, Viper is definitely known for their fire deck, so I wouldn't be surprised, but that is... Oh, but a PTA nonetheless. That's going to contest that Necruff. I don't know if you're that mad with Viper. That is still getting 3 additional spirits out of notShurit.
I am a bit suspicious on the timing of that one, but I guess the attack didn't go out, so it's fine. But, you know, I guess the judge will allow it. But in any case... you know, you want to make sure that you keep the mode of operations in place. So it's like, you know, Necruff, do you have anything? Give your opponent a window to respond. But in any case, we do have the Leviathan and the Tyrantus going out and the damage. So already down 16 to 19. But we have, looks like he's maybe planning his plays there. And that is a Foamy. I love that artwork of Foamy as well.
I love it as well. Let's see if there's a PTA meeting that Foamy, because that can be a great way to keep notShurit off of potential value and healing back those spirits.
I'm assuming not. I think the window of opportunity was passed there. So Foamy is going to get in for 1. This is going to be interesting. It's also shocking that you set 4 back row and have 0 poison tip arrow. So I'm curious what those back row actually are.
Still a chance for Gorgon's Gaze, but we'll see. And is that a Comagma or a...
I believe that Shatterstar's Kinleo.
The Shatterstars are organized play. Anyway, it's definitely a Kinleo.
Oh, organized play. Yeah, it's definitely a Kinleo. I'm not sure where the art's from, but I mean, that art is beautiful. And you know what? I do believe that is going to be organized play. But you can still get if you visit your locals right now. But right now we have a cast of Dratagua healing back 2 spirits for Shurit, bringing him back into a spirit advantage. Card advantage on field is a little bit off, but let's see how it works out for this caster going into his next turn.
Notably, notShurit did keep a lot more cards at hand than Viper did. I'm starting to wonder, again, no Gorgon's Gaze. Did Viper just set a bunch of bluffs back there?
It is possible. At the same time, if we're dealing with Fire Nexus, well, first of all, he's not going to be able to cast out Argo with an entire back row setup unless you're able to send one for the activation, but I'm unsure of that ruling. But in any case, it's going to be interesting what exactly is available to him. Maybe he just wasn't worried about the cast at all. Maybe he just wanted to get the Elestral out of his hand. Eddie is going to be the play here. Definitely going to get over the Kinleo. Is there something to stop it in that back row? If we don't see an activated back row at this time, I'm assuming they're all bluffs.
Same here. The Argo would be able to go through because the Argo would leave the board before the necklace gets cast onto board. Or not the necklace, but the counter rune. I was thinking necklace because if the Kinleo had been left in attack, an Argo play here could be devastating to take out that Eddie and then set up for Nexus plays the following turn. But is that a Demeter?
That is a Demeter, absolutely. Only casting out 1 on it, but it's going to be able to buff up. Ooh. I wonder why we're playing Demeter for 2 unless there was an altar in hand. Buffing up Dratagua?
That pretty much guarantees that unless the Viper either needs to activate 2 back row to protect that Kinleo or it's going down.
Yeah, it's not going to be stopped by a tsunami there, and it just goes down. Those back row aren't real. They're all bluffs. That's my prediction right now. Either that or diamond hands from Viper.
Or tsunamis, and he's just sad because he drew all 3 of his tsunamis against water.
That would be rough. That would actually be really rough. But at the same time, then why would you set... I feel like if that was the case, you don't set all 3. But Smotuga does come out, allow him to search out a fire. So I feel like we're confirmed to say that Viper is here in top 8 with Fire Nexus. So that's amazing play on Viper's end. But now we have a Necruff coming out here. Smotuga can get over the Dratagua. Demeter in the back for Shurit. What an interesting game state we're in.
Very much so. I think that's a great heads-up play by Viper to put that Smotuga in attack and take advantage of the 2 attack versus the 1 attack on the Dratagua. Because if you just throw in defense, Eddie plus Demeter would have contested it anyway, so there's no reason to just try to stall in defense.
No, not at all. Especially, I mean, there's still hope that the back row is real. I want something to be real because essentially you just told your opponent there's not much to worry about in your hand by setting all those cards down and not playing any of them. Estrabit, however, coming out for sure, definitely a major play. Do we have a poison tip arrow? This has to be the time, but I'm guessing it just goes through. He checked his cards and just folds his hands back up. So no response from Viper.
I'm really curious. I'm wondering if some of that back row is also Ambrosia, because on the Kinleo turn, if those were cards that could be flipped up to be able to give a Nexus Bank, why wouldn't you do that as well, especially into such minimal back row?
Well, it's possible that it was that he only has runes that are going to lower the attack. Like, let's say he's playing Poison Tunic. Eddie into Kinleo wouldn't have been enough, and why would you want to use that just for it to get destroyed the next turn? And not, that's my guess. Just it wouldn't have been enough as options for Argo if it was there.
Yeah, it is definitely tough here to kind of dissect. Maybe we'll get some more information as this game progresses. But also, it's all quite interesting because both casters are giving out a little bit of information, but also not too much information yet. So this clash has only just begun.
I am interested to see why Shurit just buffed up the Eddie to get over this Motuga. I guess maybe wary of a a Necklace of Harmonia as well.
Yeah, that bumps it up to 7 attack, and Necklace would put false.
Motuga to 7 as well.
Yeah.
So we do have a properly enchanted Necruff taking out the Eddie. That's going to be 1 point of burn damage against him. It's going to take out a Tyratlas. Score is 14-11 Viper favor. Board presence is 5 cards on the field to Shurit, but I'm not so sure board presence is in Viper's favor.
Yeah, since we haven't seen him use the back row, I'm a bit skeptical and not sure it has a larger grip since he hasn't set a bunch. But now the question is, one, what is notShurit going to do? And if that Necruff surprise back to Viper's turn, how is Viper going to out this Astrabbit?
I mean, at this point, it's tough to say. We have a re-enchant of Astrabbit, no Gorgon's Gaze, I'm assuming. So we're just going to be sitting here waiting for the plays to happen. Yeah, this 5 stat can be so potent on a simple level, but if you're also good enough to get around it with other cards, like some sort of combo, then typically 5s aren't a big pressure for you. But we do have an Ambrosia playing the Spirit off of the Astrabbit to heal up 3. There's a positive result all around. Very good for them. And just like that's 3 Leviathan Eagle that's being brought back to the Spirit deck.
That's what it looked like to me as well, and that's really what notShurit needed to be, because the other thing playing such a low-to ground efficient deck is you really do want to be up on Spirits.
Yeah, this is not a time where he's up on Spirits, but that also comes from the fact that Viper has not played any of the 4 back row that he set on turn 1.
Yeah, and we got an Expend draw from Viper as well, clearly trying to dig for some more pieces and just not feeling all that pressured by a lone Astrabbit on board.
I mean, at this point, what do? I think both players are just kind of waiting for their own combo piece. And you have to believe that if Viper can dig into a potential Vomacol or even Volcanic Forge, game pressure goes in his favor. But Elechick from Shurit is going to dig him into another Divine. I have to assume it's going to be Zeus here. But let's just see how, there's going to be Stone Zeus from Shatterstar's Thunder. Beautiful artwork.
Yep, not too surprising here, unfortunately. It would have been really hyped to see another Aeolus tech, but I think that one might just be unique to that one caster. I forget who it was in the earlier rounds. But still, Zeus, a really solid pickup.
It's a really tough situation, but this is also a time for sure to get some sort of offensive pressure. So hopefully, one of those back rolls from Viper is actually live. And if so, then this is a good spot for sure for Viper to be in. Another face down does get triggered as well. The Necruff was weakened by 3. Are any of them live?
I'm assuming one has to be a Tsunami, and there you go.
That is a Tsunami, just washing itself all over the field. Majesty's Majesty saving Viper's time right now, and now allowing him to get over the Elechick, take that out, and deal a bit of burn damage potentially with a Vomacol. I called it. This is going to be a major swing for the game here.
Yeah, a Viper with this play not only can get over the Elechick, which it already could, but now can also start pressuring that Astrabbit and completely flip the pressure around onto notShurit. And notably, notShurit used only 1 Spirit onto the Zeus and got rid of it. So that's both Demeter and Zeus out of the way. Viper does not have to deal with those cards anymore.
Oh yeah, really good play from him, especially with the stats being up right now. This is Viper's game to control. Neklev going back to attack, now a 6 attacker with the Fire Spirit under it. We have Rumiko sitting as a 4 attacker. Both of Shurit's Elestrals are threatened right now. And Rumiko attacking into the Elichick. Let's worry, both attacks will declare, but let's wait on the Rumiko attack first to see what happens. Rumiko going into Elichick, and that attack is going to go through.
I'm assuming it's not a, shield. I assumed it wasn't Tsunami. I'll see what a Tsunami on that first attack, but I don't think you're very happy sending that Nekruff backhand since you now have to wait another turn for it to be cast out. Like, you need to set up something either preemptively or prepared to deal with that Nekruff when it comes out next turn.
And what exactly do you have to prepare for a Nekruff besides getting rid of the stadium? And if you're playing a good water good stuff here, you're likely not playing a stadium. So that Volcanic Forge is here for the long haul. So, and also you have to question, is there a Stoke the Forge in Viper's hand? I feel like with that Forge on the field, the momentum of the game has heavily swung in Viper's favor.
Very much so. If he does have a Volcanic or a Stoke the Forge, don't know why I wouldn't cast it right now, so I'm guessing not. But again, we still have 3 back row now that we are unsure what they are. But a Galaxy coming out here, it's good on this exact board state, but still doesn't really help with the Nekruff next turn.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be there just ready to go. And I'm assuming the Battle Step Gorgon's Gauge replacing the Tsunami. And that Galaxy is going to the Underworld, gone before the Gauge could even finish. And now this is like a great spot for Viper to be in. Just back row pressure. He has the right pyro. He has power on the field. Elestral advantage as soon as he makes his cast here. This is Viper's game to lose.
Yeah, definitely. And good call that replaced the Tsunami. So we still have 3 unknown back row from the very first turn of the game. And Nekruff hits the board again as predicted and starts pressuring that Ass Rabbit. And it goes. Ooh. What does notShurit do here to get back in this game?
What do you do? I mean, do you have Arcalyph in hand? That's probably your best bet right now. Do you have a Lavalith? Like, you need a power play to come through here. And the 2 best ones have been limited on the recent ban list. That is a resting on your. That's another potent play there. And now Shurit gets his choice of taking out either the Rumiko or the Nekruff. And likely, yes, the Nekruff is the best play to take out. That's what he chooses. So now the 4 attack stat. Rumiko's on field, and that is a Lavalith hitting the field. You better snipe that Forge.
I don't think that's... Oh, the Forge. Yes, I was about to say, I don't think that's a legal play, but you're right, because of the Forge.
But, yeah, he does allow it. He gets it through, takes out this... I think that's Argo.
Yes, it is.
As well. We lost focus, but I believe that was Argo going out there. Not a bad play. A second Argo has set sail. A second Argo has set sail. That is such a... You set 2 Argo. What a bold player Viper is.
And to hold it until now, this is huge, because by holding until this stage of the game, you pretty much assure that you have control and punish Shurit for making that play to try to come back.
Man, that is a massive swing. That's going to make Rumiko a 9 to Lavalith 8. And that's going to be enough to get over this Lavalith in that battle.
Yeah, we'll have to see if notShurit has response. I believe one of those set cards, what has been here and can still technically be live.
Yes.
But we'll have to see.
It's definitely still viable for Viper to play that. But with board presence and spirit presence, it's unlikely to see that right now. And I feel like the worst part about this game for Shurit is that the back row wasn't pressured fast enough. There wasn't many attacks coming out from Shurit that Viper felt the need to stop. And that's the biggest play here, is that Viper didn't see the value in activating his back row until they were necessary. And now we have this situation where on attack declaration, Argo is going to power up the Rumiko, who's now sitting at 9 stats, if I recall correctly.
Yep, I count 9 as well. And I really want to shout Viper for this play here. I think it was really smart because on an earlier turn I had mentioned how with the Kinleo out, you really wanted to cast Argo to set it up for Nexus plays, but you just let the Kinleo go because it got moved to defense by the Eddy, and it really worked out in its favor. And another Kinleo is huge here. So if the Lavalith had stuck around, it likely wasn't going to be sticking around for long. But now that back row has to be something good, or else that this board is going to try to win the game right here and now.
Yeah, this is it. All the spirits taken out, so that way Viper doesn't have to expend 2 spirits for Nectar of Harmonia. The spirit damage on field is ready to go, and an Ambrosia just for insurance, healing up and fixing his spirit deck by 3 spirits. Curious to see what he brings back here, but I cannot see what actually is going to work out for Shurit here. 2 fires, I want to say 3 fires maybe looking at his spirit deck to figure out a third. No, all fires were brought back. So that's going to heal him, Viper, for enough. And now we have a Tsunami. What a great card to have in this poor scenario for him.
Yes, that's about the one answer notShurit needed to have to be able to survive this. But now what do you do? Because that Rummikul is sitting at a 5 defense stat. That's not going to be easy to deal with. And offense, it's even bigger than that. So we'll see what notShurit can manage to do here to try to scrape out this game.
I mean, there's an argument that the Volcanic Force should have been targeted before. But I understand why he didn't, but I think Volcanic Force, because you're at such a disadvantage with it being on the field, was your best play. That is a
Nekruff.
That's the artist collection, or one of the early collections. I love that artwork, and that is
ooh.
Yeah, that pretty much does it. Shield of Achilles is going to bounce it back, only 1 spirit in Underworld, so you can't play any runes that are going to matter in this scenario.
That was an intense first game, and now getting to the next one, we start off with a Mustachian.
Hey, you said it right!
I remember this, I was rehearsing it. That's an interesting play to start off, just a big 6 body, and even Volcanic Forge plus the Nekruff won't be able to out it here. So curious to see what Viper does in response to this.
I would love to see an Eddie come down just to cast out how we did before. That was always very fun. But that is in a Stravit, so very good opening play here. I would say a pretty decent matchup to, cast out Mustachian. Let's see if there's any counter. There is no counter, no PTA, no gauge. The top 3 is going to be looked at. And right now, Viper is just building up resources.
He doesn't have a bunch of counter runes. He can just set bluffs, and notShurit can't trust that after last game.
That is very true. That's actually a very true point. And the only thing that we saw at the target back row was the lava lift. But this case, we only see 1 face down. So in Shurit's case, are you feeling more confident or cautious about the fact that only 1 is now set?
Honestly, I think you just don't pay much attention to it and just keep proceeding forward. Sometimes you can get really caught up in these mind games, and that is what ends up losing you the game. But another Mustachian here to really start pressuring that rabbit. Do we see a double expend, though, or just a single expend and just try to pressure it that way?
I would say a single expend, in my opinion. But I still would switch them both to attack.
I don't know if I agree with both of them to attack, just because if one gets answered, now one's also vulnerable. But ooh, a double. So
a double expend, yeah.
This is a good chance for Viper to punish the double crab here, because if he can, even if he loses the Astrabbit, if he can answer 1 and then throw out an attacker next turn, that's even more spirits from Shurit.
Well, both attacks land. The Astrabbit is KO'd. The Spirit is expended. Only 1 face down rune is on Viper's end, but an entire grip of unknown anomalies as he's going into his next turn. That is a resting face down. That is a face down resting. Incredibly rude, but also think about that. After having 4 back rows that were all live in game 1, this time there's a resting there.
I love that play, because I think it was brilliant to set that, because that guaranteed that notShurit was going to use both of the Mustachian's effects just to get punished. So he lost out on an extra spirit because of that.
Yeah, now we're in a situation where is there a Nexus Bank live? And yes, there is. The Spirit has been expended, calling his bluff, but Volcanic Forge is in hand, allowing the destruction of Mustachian unless there is a Gorgon's Gaze in the back row, and there is.
But at the same time, that's still a lot of spirits that Viper is pressuring out of notShurit here. And if the Mustachian is going to attack over the Kinleo next turn, notShurit is going to be willing to give up yet another spirit. So I think Viper feels great in this position. Yeah,
Viper, it's not a bad situation, but it's not perfect. So yeah, let's see what happens though. We do have, is that an expend to draw? It is an expend to draw. See, now it raises the question of, do you expend to destroy?
Yeah, you're already down a bunch of spirits.
We'll have to see what he chooses to do. It's all about where his value is. That is not an Earthquake. That is a Scythe of Demeter.
Ooh.
That is +2 attack, +3 defense from them as well. And with 3 face down set, are going to expend to get the Mustachian buff, swap its stats, making it now an 8 attacker.
Oh, that's the play here. It's so that if the back row is an Argo, they're not punished. But if it's a shield, ooh, that's going to hurt.
Well, let's see what happens. If it's a shield, I will cry.
Yeah, because Argo doesn't help here. It can only get Kinley up to 9 attack. Or 8 attack, excuse me, to Mustachian's 9. Yeah, we'll just have to see. Viper thinking on it.
Man, this has to be one deliberation here to be considering it. But Kinleo is going to go down. A lot of consideration. Like, this is one of those times we just have to figure, like, what in my back row is valuable to me. And he also going, wait a minute. Did he just heal up one? Oh, right. You heal up more if the meter's on board. Right. So, correct. Yes, that heal is correct.
Another, ooh. Neck rough. Okay.
So, challenging the Mustachian to burn a spirit here.
Yeah, really thinking on it. But also, do you just save the back row instead?
I guess it depends on what the back row is. Like, if you can protect yourself without expending them, maybe you sell like that way. Like that. I think this is still a wait, was it a pass?
I think that was a pass, but I didn't
it was a pass. Okay, wow. And Eddie is going to come out and swap the neck buff to defense. Absolutely not what Viper wants to see here. 2 face down back row, but they aren't going to, or if it's Argo, it's not going to matter when you're only Elestrals in defense.
Yeah, and that, I think that notShurit's making the read here that Viper is sacrificing slots for Shield of Achilles on Argo. Hence why they were okay making that Mustachian play, because if that was a shield, that would have been an extreme punish. But it seems like they made the right call.
I can understand that trade off there, Argo for Shield of Achilles, but it's interesting how that could go. And we still haven't seen much of Viper's list, so who knows what else is in store. But we do have the draw, and a cast out will be happening. It's a Fire Elestral into Rummercoal. Major play, but the 3 back row from Shurit. If we have a Gorgon's Gaze, I think there's value in negating this.
Oh yeah, you're in a commanding position here. Just keep Viper off of key resources to come back, because now that he's got the Volcanic Forge in hand, if there's a Kinleo to pair with it, can finally deal with that Mustachian.
Do we already have a Stoke the Force to hard search out a second Kinleo? Maybe you want to search out, who knows, a Core Magma or anything like that. We have to see, but Volcanic Forge is going to hit the field. I imagine Stoke the Forge is coming out next, or maybe he just wants the stat buff, which is valuable as well. And it looks like that's going to be it. The turn is passed to Shurit. So Eddie could crash in the Rummercoal, and honestly, I might take that trade.
A Tsunami, just guaranteeing that you can attack over that Rummercoal without having to, I guess if you're expending a spirit for the Mustachian, not much of a difference. Followed up by an Ambrosia, so notShurit really leveraging the position they're in, and Viper needs to have some sort of play next turn to swing the game back their favor, or notShurit might be able to just grab the advantage, which is exactly where a deck like this, his, wants to be.
Scythe of Demeter really paying dividends for him right now. This is an amazing just execution by him. I feel like the Tsunami, I would have rather have saved that, but I understand wanting to get your Ambrosia off sooner than later. And now we have a cast out of a Galaxy.
Ooh.
Pros, Mustachian is now a 6/1 naturally. Cons, you have a 1/4 Eddie.
Yes, but this is also a great play with the Scythe on the Mustachian, because now even a Gorgon's Gaze on the Galaxy meant that it was still going to hit over the Rummercoal there. So that Tsunami play really paying dividends.
Man, Shurit has a really commanding board state at this moment. Wonder what Viper can execute here. He's going to need some sort of combo, and is going to start with a Spectrus. That's not even a combo. That's just a big dude.
Yeah, that contests the Galaxy, which is probably the best that he can do right now. Just get that Galaxy off the board and then just deal with that Mustachian later.
If this attack connects, those face downs are fake.
notShurit's really looking at them, so I don't know.
There has to be something played here, because if you can stop this, you have so much control and leverage. And a Gorgon's Gaze, is that an attack or battle step?
That should be attack declaration because the Spectrus attack.
Oh,
No.
you're right. It would trigger imbalance. Yeah, 'cause that's like we're confirmed attacking. So it would have to be on there. But this is still a great spot to be in.
That work. Well, it would cancel on the chain. So no, I think you could do it in battle step and have it be destroyed.
I don't think it activates those. So it wouldn't.
It
Well,
would.
however it played out, it does go through.
Yeah. I'll double check that real quick, but I'm pretty sure because it would go Spectrus on the chain, you could chain Gorgon's Gaze and then negate the effect.
But I don't think Spectrus activates. I think it's more so a passive. That's like, hey, we're here now. You're negated. But
it does activate.
It does?
When the Spectrus enters battle. That's the activation condition.
I'm not sure if that's you know what? I'll let the judges have it. I just have more things to take note of and learn about Elestrals. But we do have all 3 points of damage going in. The Spectrus has been taking out 3 points of damage. Spirit damage is taken as well. So, I mean, Shurit has a lot of control. If that face down is live as well, then that is it.
Yeah, really the back row shining in this game just from this side on notShurit. But the Kinleo coming down, since the Gorgon's Gaze was used last turn, Kinleo might be able to deal some damage here, finally getting that Mustachian off of the board. But is that the best player of the Galaxy?
It is. So it looks like the Mustachian is going to go. It's really tough to say there. I don't want either of them to stick around in the field. But at least if you take out the Mustachian, you can attack into the Eddy and take out 2 Elestrals in one turn. But it looks like that attack wasn't even declared.
I think that's a good heads-up play because here, I think from Viper's perspective, Viper does not want to let Kinleo go down to a shield and instead wants to be able to make sure it's on board next turn to be able to then Nexus to get rid of the Galaxy and then start picking apart the rest of the board.
Well, in any case, Galaxy is going to run over the Kinleo here, and 2 more Spirit points of damage from the 1/4 Eddies is going to take them that far.
Hey, just means we get a game 3. I don't think we've had a game 3 yet, if I'm not mistaken, on stream.
I don't think we have, no.
Yeah, because none of the games I've commentated have, so that'll be exciting. But Smoltuga coming out here, just a last-ditch effort to try to find a body that might be able to deal with it. But notably in defense, despite the Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was aware of what he just done there, because now Galaxy is just going to laugh at the Smoltuga. Viper may not be aware, or we have an advanced play waiting in the wings.
Likely that just has to attack, because if any of those back row Tsunami, they're not live here.
Ambrosia is going to come out, healing Shurit up to 8 and allowing him to fix up his spirit deck just a little bit. I'm curious to see what he chooses to heal up. Pays off a Zaptor to bring back a Leviathan, more Leviathans, maybe a Zaptor, the second Leviathan, and a Vipyro. Now that's interesting.
And actually, looking at it again, I actually think that Smoltuga is misenchanted with fire, so that would do it. But, Ascension? Lavalith?
Lavalith!
That gets over misenchanted Smoltuga. Is that Viper scooping it up?
I think so.
We're getting our first game 3 today on stream. Whew.
That was a misenchanted Smoltuga right there. It just gets all over it. We do have a game 3 here in top 8.
Ooh, we'll see who gets the back row this time, or maybe they'll get even back row, and we'll see a very interesting back and forth to where how they choose to use it will really, really matter.
Vumacold, that is such a good opener for Viper right here.
Definitely, just grabbing that Volcanic Forge right away. It gets that for Stoke the Forge Plates, which we have not seen out of Viper yet, but that doesn't mean he doesn't run it. But also being able to set up instant Kinleo plays will be...
I mean, yeah, because there's definitely been several times where he could have utilized it and it just wasn't played. But at the same time, he could just not have had it.
And notably, Rumacole can search out Stoke the Forge as well, but every single time going for the Volcanic Forge. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if next Premier event we see a lot more decks at least siding their stadiums if they're facing off against a deck such as Fire Nexus that really likes their stadium. But a Lavalith turn 1, or I guess turn 2, but sure it's turn 1, is insane. Will he target the Volcanic Forge this time around or go for the back row?
This is a very cruel punish to a fire deck to punish them for playing the game with their own limited Elestral. And this time, Volcanic Forge is the target. That is a great move. I think that was absolutely the right choice.
Oh yeah, Viper takes way more advantage of that card than notShurit does. But will we see? Because this is still vulnerable to an Argo into Necklace of Harmonia.
I was going to say you don't need to attack if you're unsure of the back row, but at the same time, you could just not do it. That is a Shield of Achilles. Interesting decision there. You're valuing the Rummikub on field, but now you have to play this entire game 3 knowing that Lavalith is waiting for you. So your spirit differential can never exceed 1.
Yeah, I don't know. It might just be a desperation play, but I really wouldn't want to give my opponent back a Lavalith. I guess Viper doesn't have an answer in hand. It needs to stall for a bit longer, but another...
Is there a Stoke? There better be a Stoke. Play the Stoke now.
Oh, just re-enchant. That's an interesting play because you're just playing right back into Lavalith. So
yeah, this is going to pop the second Volcanic Forge unless the face down is a Gorgon's Gaze.
Why not play that last turn to stop the first Lavalith?
Interesting line of play by Viper here. Maybe there's an altar.
Maybe, and now with the extra spirit, that works out real well. notShurit on an Ambrosia, and notably here, Viper is at quite the spirit deficit compared to notShurit even before that Ambrosia.
Yeah, going from 16 up to 18 now. Interesting line of play by these two, and now the Lavalith is coming down again. I think Shure was also questioning, like, why are you just playing right into it? So that face down has to be Gorgon's Gaze, or that Volcanic Forge is just done. Is that Gorgon's Gaze? It is. That is a full art from Daybreak. Man, look at that thing. That thing is beautiful.
Maybe the play here is to give yourself an extra turn to re-enchant the Rummagem to hit over. Because what, 3, 4, it's at 5 now? I think that might have been the play, was just to give yourself an extra turn to be able to re-enchant the Rummagem to finally be able to hit over that Lavalith.
Yeah, I mean, again, I kind of saw right through it because now, as you said, he is re-enchanting the Rummikub. That thing is now beefy. This is the world's strongest Rummikub, and it is absolutely just going to run over this Lavalith. But is it worth it considering the spirit differential you're at now?
I mean, Viper might not have a choice, but honestly, that was quite the play from Viper there, being able to do that, just seeing that line of play. I don't...
Oh, right! The Lavalith was also buffed up to 8.
Yeah, so
one spirit point of damage was done, but man, I don't know how I feel about that.
My best guess is it was a desperation play. It was probably the best out they had, which is a brilliant play, but unfortunately just puts you at such low spirits compared to your opponent.
Did Shurit like side into heal or something? There's a Sluggle on the field, and we already saw Ambrosia. The lowest spirit count has been was 15 for Shurit. What is going on here?
Apparently Shurit just showed up this time around, just ready to say, no, you will not be at you'll not be at higher spirits than me.
Man, this is an interesting line of play. That is another Rummikub though. So now a 4 attacker is going to run over the Sluggle, but not able to get much. That is a Gorgon's Gaze. Is that stopping the effect, stopping the attack? Not sure where in the game is that Gorgon's Gaze being triggered, but it is going to put Shurit down to 15. I guess he just wants to keep the Sluggle around, if nothing more.
Yeah, or just make sure next time if they get a chance to have the Volcanic Forge again, that now Viper has to dig for yet another one. We'll see, because this Rummagem is still at 4 attack, and is that an Eddie? Yeah, that'll do it.
This is notable because for the first time on stream, we have a clash with under 10 minutes left in it. So spirit count should absolutely be considered going into this game 3. And it's possible that Sluggle was sided in to deal with a late game scenario. Just making sure that you're up on spirit differential.
I think that's a safe assumption to make, especially if we potentially see a Quackle next turn.
Oh yeah, if we see a Quackle, then we know what's going on. Spectaris, though, is coming out of put 5 attacker with effect that's going to run over the Eddie. The Sluggle is just there, being cute.
It's not sure. I still am not that mad. Eddie did what it needed to do. Sure, you need a way to deal with the Spectaris, but as long as you're up on spirits, you're still feeling pretty good. And that's an attack position, Astrabbit. Fishing for a Zeus or Demeter, potentially?
It is an interesting approach, but it absolutely is one. Just force your opponent to play cards. Who knew that was a viable win con?
Oh.
That is a Cryoblast, though. Never mind. We're not taking a crash at all. We are just going to be crashing out on the Spectaris. That thing goes to the underworld, and now 2 points of damage. Shurit has an 8 spirit differential here going into this next round. Absolutely insane play by Shurit. Just healing and healing and healing. Meanwhile, Viper, I don't think it's seen a single ambrosia this game.
Yeah, and seeing that Frost Spirit turn 1, I'm surprised it took us this long to see an actual Cryo Blast here, but let's see what Viper has on the Castanets and Ash Rabbit, which is a great card, but I don't know if it's quite what you need here.
I mean, pulling back a card from your underworld is always great. We know that at least one Volcanic Forge is under there as well. But in this scenario, I would actually give my opponent whatever costs the most. You have 3 spirits left. Please spend your cards.
For sure. Yeah, and interestingly, grabbing a Gorgon's Gaze there. I'm curious the opponent lets them take. I didn't quite catch what.
Yeah, that was the Gorgon's Gaze. That was the Gorgon's Gaze. The Viper's about to set it immediately. So the Gorgon's Gaze was given back to him, and now there's 2 cards set, but you know one of them is Gaze. And to me, I am just foaming at the mouth saying, please activate it. Let's see what happens. Ash Rabbit being buffed up to 3 is going to run over the Ash Rabbit. So now we have a game here. But yeah, I think it's just Viper's game to win, or try to win.
Absolutely. I'm a bit surprised the Kinleo wasn't one of the options there, because that could be a great way to quickly try to swing the spirits back in your favor. But Mustachian here will be able to contest that Rabbit.
Immediately. And now, are you going to use your Gorgon's Gaze? Use it.
You're going down to 1 spirit, though. You better have an Ambrosia next turn, or else you're not going to be able to do too much more.
I mean, you're either going down to 1 spirit or you're going down. That's an earthquake. This is a clinic from Shurit right now. Just all the big plays. We saw the Lava Lip and the Earthquake come out, and now the 2 points of damage are going to come out as well. I'm guessing he did not expend with the Mustachian. I don't think I saw that. So looks like that's pretty much going to be it, unless we have a major Ambrosia play right here, right now.
We'll see, but that Mustachian really will make that difficult. And
the last spirit being spent. Wait, there's one more. There's one more in the spirit deck. The count was a little off there. So we do have the resting on the Mustachian, and now the Fire Enchanted Knuckle to take out the Sluggle. It's not over yet.
Absolutely not, but
it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Well, hold your phone, because Shurit could not have a. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mustachian is just showing like this is it. That's going to be the India tournament run. Man, our first game 3, and Shurit shows up and shows out, Eagle.